So now that we have that done, for now, I believe we have our stage pretty much set up and complete and ready. Pretty much. So there are certain things that can be added to the stage as I've seen. So if you want to play around with your stage a bit, if we go ahead and go to our stage, we see in this green panel here it says facial manipulation. And usually this is for the face of a model, but it works the same for everything, so it's not just for faces. It's what they call blend shapes or morphs. It's just generally changing the position of things. So this here includes animation. It includes these hearts. You can move them on your own, like this. You see it moving in the background. That's generally what it is different parts of the stage can move, but since they included that animation for the stage already, we do not need to do that. So we can have our clouds move, but what I noticed about these clouds in comparison to the actual video is that whoever did this stage or extracted this stage or edited it, the clouds are not moving correctly, so they wouldn't look nice on the stage. Not to me. So I just want to use them. But you can play around with your stage in this section here. It's called the facial section. It's going to be a green box and see what your stage does. And if you like anything, you would just do that and register it on your frame manipulation box, like you would do anything else. Okay, so yeah, just play around with your stage and see what your stage does and see if they got it correct and on point to your video. If not, you can just leave it out. Okay, welcome back to the tutorial. So as far as I know, we are almost done and complete with our video. So I believe we are on the last steps, and the steps we need to take now is to give our two models here their motions, and then we'll move on to giving the whole video effects to make it stand out and shine a bit better. So as you can see, since this package or whomever I don't know what you call it, like extracted this video from Project Diva or however they did it. Well, of course, or if they created all the stuff themselves, they didn't include some content, so our video is not going to be exactly verbatim like the Project Diva video, but it's close enough to get the point. So what we're going to move on to doing is we're going to go ahead and give our two models here their motions, which is a pretty easy process. It's just like giving a motion to anything else, like we have done with the bears earlier in this tutorial. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead over here to this model manipulation box. Let me make sure I'm okay. This model manipulation box is reddish brown box that we have used often so far, and we're just going to find our models, which should be labeled by their names. So we're gonna click each one and make sure you click them. Make sure you're on frame 0, which should always be started on there anyways unless you did something previously. But if you're putting in a new motion that you want to begin from 0, then make sure you do it on 0. But if, let's say you were here on 25 and you want the motion to start from 25, then that's the frame you will click. But we want the motion to start from 0. Okay, and so now that we have that in play, we're gonna just go ahead and pull up our motion, which is not in here. It's in here, and let's see, I think it's this one. And so when you open your motions file, usually they'll be labeled. So you see we have the Lin motion, and we have the Rin motion, and we have the camera motion. And each of these are going to be placed in different locations. So for mine, with this shared Kaio model right here, I'm going to go ahead and put um, lens motion, right? And you have to give it time to load, especially if your computer is a bit slow. Mine is kind of slow, but it's good enough for the work that it's doing. So depending on your computer, it will take a minute to load into motion, especially depending on how many components you already have on your stage. So you see that we already have quite a bit, the bears stage itself and all that. So if you can hear, my computer is working even a little bit harder than normal, and that's because it's dealing with all these models and their motions. So anyways, now that this dollhouse shared Kyle model is has his motion, we're gonna go ahead and go over to the TDA Luca model that we got from DeviantArt, and we're going to give her motion. So we're gonna go ahead and go to same place, load motion, and if you didn't catch that, which you should have by now, but that's file, and in the drop down menu you'll go ahead and go to load motion data, and in the file where your motion is should be a .vmd file. You're just gonna go ahead and load it, and for Luca we're gonna load Rin's motion right here. And of course it's going to take a bit of time, especially depending on the components you have. So I usually, when I'm doing my own music video projects, like our group has did a music video project together. So what we generally did in that video is each of us did like well, some of us did different parts of it, and so that way, you don't have all this strain on trying to make the whole music video in it. If you have a relatively good computer, then don't worry about it. But if you don't, and you don't like to have your computer straining so hard, then I would suggest you do your video in parts, and you can always put it together in a program like Clipchamp or even Video Factory or anything like that. Um, any video editing program you can do that in, so you don't have to create the whole video in this frame in MMD alone. I don't find it ideal per se for my projects, but for some of them I just do so. So in this case, since I'm doing a tutorial, then I'm just gonna show you the whole work through of it. So anyways, Luca has her motion now, and you just if you don't like seeing the bones and you want to see the characters, you just in this bone manipulation box where select is highlighted, just click that again and it disappears. So now we got our motions. So now we're gonna go ahead and head over to camera and light accessory, right here, and we're just gonna go ahead and click play and see what happens. And as you can clearly see, yeah, this is what's showing, just the middle of the screen. And so we're gonna stop it. The reason why that is because of course we need camera motions. So camera motions are very important, and of course you can create your own camera motions, but that is not for this tutorial. Since this is a basic tutorial, we're just gonna go ahead and load in the camera motion that was provided for us in this stage package. So we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing that we did with the models, except for right here on the camera. So We're gonna go ahead to load motion, and that's what this camera.vmd is for, and we're just gonna open it. And I think the camera loads in usually pretty quickly. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and click play, see how it looks. And as you see, immediately it has the camera motions. Now you can see the characters.